Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly forecast for January 3rd through the 9th. This is going to be, first and foremost, Happy New Year. This is going to be for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now, I am setting the intention for January 3rd through the 9th, but you might not see this video till much later. It doesn't matter when you see it. You're going to see it whenever you're meant to hear the messages that are in it. Keep in mind, this is a general reading for the Sagittarius collective. Therefore, not every single message is going to resonate for you. But take the ones that do and leave the ones that don't. This is going to be for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I feel like we need one more good shuffle here. Let's get right on into it. My Sagittarius friends, curious to see how this reading plays out because you guys have been having some really interesting, really powerful messages coming in your weeklies, in your 2022 forecast, in your January love readings. You guys have had powerful messages coming up. So I'm curious to see how this one plays out. The first card coming up here for Sagittarius is the Queen of Swords. Now, I know a lot of people are used to watching tarot for love and romance. Therefore, the court cards are often seen as another person coming into the situation. And that can be the case for some of you. You might be dealing with an air sign person. Air sign is going to be Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius. But I like to focus on you and less on other people in your weekly forecast. So the characteristics and the energy of the Queen of Swords is one of boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. And the thing about the Queen of Swords is she has suffered in her life. She has suffered. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the message in the nutshell for the Sagittarius reading last week was like the suffering being over, like the suffering is over and there's this turning of a new leaf. Queen of Swords has suffered in her life. She has known suffering in her life. And so now she's in this place in her life where she's handling her business. She's doing what needs to be done. And she doesn't have any time, any patience, any compassion for anybody who's trying to come in and disrupt her peace or cause issues or cause problems. And she's not going to put up with it. Anybody who is working against her, anybody who is sabotaging her, anybody who is trying to pull her off her path, she's going to cut those people out of the way. She's not going to deal with it. She's not going to put up with it. You're either contributing and you're helping or you're not around. And so some of you might really be tightening your circle of friends. You might be really kind of making it smaller, making it much closer, much tighter, much more exclusive. You may be kind of deciding to only keep a few people close to you at this time. And you may be just basically cutting out anything that's a distraction right now. Queen of Swords can also come up when we're kind of perfecting our time management, where we're not allowing people to come in and take our time, and we're using that time for, things for ourselves. Rest, recovery, projects, studying, working, spending time with our family, spending time with our kids, whatever it might be. So you're guarding your resources, you're guarding your space, and you don't have time for anybody's shenanigans. And Sagittarius, one thing that happens when we're early on our healing path, like our eyes start to open, we're awakening, we're healing, we will feel a lot of compassion for people because we realize how much we didn't know and how much we've changed. And so we might feel like, okay, well, this person's being this way, but it's because they're hurting. It's because they have trauma. It's because they're not awake yet. And all this stuff can very well be true, but it doesn't mean that you have to hold space for it in your life. It doesn't mean that you have to be a martyr or sacrifice yourself or deal with the consequences of their behaviors. We can understand why somebody is a certain way, and that they haven't woken up yet. And we can feel compassion for them, but we don't have to hold space for it in our life. We don't have to suffer the consequences of their traumas. And so a lot of you are beginning to realize this, and you're cutting the cord. You're disconnecting from these kinds of energies, things that are parasitic, things that are sabotaging, things that are draining. You have no time for it. You have absolutely no time for it at all. And you're not going to let anybody make you feel guilty about that, because you know you're doing what you need to do. Your next card that's coming up here for you, Sagittarius. Ooh, I told you guys have had powerful energies, is the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is a major arcana card. The major arcana cards are going to come up any time that we're at a significant new chapter in our life. We're at a significant crossroads, and the situation that we're dealing with is directly connected to something we came here to experience, something that we came here to master. Now, from my reading and from my research, I have read that the High Priestess card is going to be associated with Pisces and with Taurus. The Taurus thing, when I say it, can be a little controversial. Some of you have chimed in and you've been like, oh yes, absolutely, there's a Taurus element to the High Priestess. And there's other people who just absolutely, positively do not want to hear that. It makes them upset. But it is what it is. And there's information out there that says that there's a Taurus element to the High Priestess. Now, if you have a Pisces or Taurus placement, there can be really big changes and shifts happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses. That might be where your attention and focus is, and that might be where you're handling business and getting things in order. But going a little deeper here, the High Priestess energy is powerful energy. She's very intuitive. She's a healer. She's a sage. She's a mystic. She's confident. Inside, within herself, she knows. She follows her intuition. She follows her gut. She goes within to find the answers. She knows the answers are already inside of her. And the High Priestess comes up for me in my readings when you are in a very, very high level of healing. When your chakras are really aligned and cleared, and you have this delicious, beautiful energy flowing through your body. As you're in this healing energy, you're connected to higher self, you're connected to God, you're connected to that source energy. And so this makes you very irresistible to a lot of people. A lot of people find themselves wanting to be near you, whether as friends or many people trying to pull you into bed, kind of obsessing about you, being very persistent about you. And you might even feel really powerful chemistry in those instances with these people being very persistent and trying to pull you into bed. But what's happening, my dear, is you are a healer. And somebody who has a void, somebody who has a hole, somebody who's afraid to do their healing, who's scared to face their demons, they want to latch on to you. They want to cord you. They want to feed off of your energy. They want to fill up their emptiness with this powerful alignment that you've come into. Instead of them connecting to God, to higher self, to universe, to source, they want to hijack your connection. They want to intercept it. And you may feel this as really intense chemistry, really intense sparks. So one of the things we learn when the High Priestess comes up is that not everybody who wants us gets to have us. And we learn healthy boundaries. And we learn that not every single person who is in need of healing, who comes on our path, is somebody that we are meant to take on as a really committed project. We don't have to take everybody on as a project. And, I'm going to help this person heal. We can help them to heal sometimes simply by praying for them, by handing them over to their angels and guides, by sending them healing energy, but we don't need to take them to bed. We don't need to take them to bed to heal them. And we don't need to take them into our life and suffer the consequences of their traumas because they're hurting. Sagittarius, you guys are going through a powerful shift. Many of you have crawled out of a very deep, very scary, very dark, very cold abyss. And there was not one person to lift you up out of it. You crawled out of it on your own. As did I. As did all of us on this journey. Nobody pulled you out of it. Because that is the journey. Is finding our way out of it. Just like nobody could do the journey for you, you can't do the journey for anybody else. They have to do their work. They can't hijack your connection. They can't intercept your energetic flow. They have to make their own. And so this is what you're learning. The boundaries of being a light worker. The boundaries of being a healer. And how that works. Being a healer, being a light worker, doesn't mean that we are going to play martyr all the time. That's not what we're meant to be doing. You can also experience with this high priestess energy very, very increased intuition. Very increased intuition, very increased psychic ability, tapping into your gifts as a healer, tapping into your inner knowing, mastering the art of going within for answers. This is very powerful energy. The next card that's coming up here for you is the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles also came up for Libra, which I find it interesting that you have the Queen of Swords here. So some of you may have a Libra placement. If you do, I highly recommend that you watch the Libra forecast for this week. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra. However, let's put all that aside. Traditionally speaking, Page of Pentacles can be representative of a child or financial issues or situations around children, because the pages sometimes are representative of children. Or some of you are manifesting finances to adopt or to have a child. That could be happening for some of you, where you're setting boundaries so that you can focus on this goal and making this happen, and protecting your resources so that you have enough to make this happen. However, the Page of Pentacles comes up for me in my readings when you are changing your relationship with your finances, and you're changing your relationship with your work, and you're coming into the energy of efficiency. You're learning to work smarter, not harder, and to do more with what you have. So you might be looking not in terms of financial situations only, you might be looking in terms of friendships. And you might be asking yourself, how much energy am I putting into this? How much energy am I getting back? Is it worth my while? Is it worth my while? Some of you are going through a really interesting energetic transition. And as you're going through this energetic transition, you're finding that some of your old friends are falling away, falling out. Like that old saying by Rumi, be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. They're kind of falling away. And these are all friends who maybe have really been struggling financially. They're really broke. And you're meeting new people. You're coming across new friends, new acquaintances. And you may start feeling, oh man, now I'm the broke friend. These people have a lot of good things going for them, or, you know, they're making way more than I'm making. Don't let this intimidate you, because you're coming into a time that you also are going to be making that kind of money. You're also going to be having those kinds of assets. Your energy is aligning with people who are in that energy, you're in that energy, and the material aspect will follow. Don't judge yourself. Don't feel insecure. Don't feel embarrassed. You're there because you're aligning with that energy. You're in that group now. You're one of those people. You know, you might be dealing with people who are looking at you like you're a sellout or this or that. It doesn't matter. Let them be negative. Let them talk. You're just not investing your time or energy into anything negative, anything that's bringing you down, anything that's draining you. You want to live. You want to be happy. And I feel like you're just really tired of anybody who's coming at you with any kind of victimhood mentality or mindset. You don't want to hear it. So there's this cleansing and this clearing of this energy from your life. And I think for a lot of you, it's because, as I said, you've suffered in your life. And there was a time that you felt this is so unfair. There was a time that you felt like, you know, you were the victim. And you have a right to feel that way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have felt that way or that was wasted time. Because you were. In that situation, you absolutely were a victim. But you came to this stage in your healing when you said, you know what? That did happen and I was, but I'm not anymore. I'm too strong now. I'm too strong for that to ever happen to me again. That's never going to happen to me again. Because I'm not in that old energy. I'm not in that helplessness. I'm not powerless anymore. And because you're breaking out of it and you don't have that mindset anymore, there are people who are going to fall away. And these are the people who are also going to make excuses. Why you shouldn't try. Why things are never going to get better. Why everything is so hopeless. Why everything is rigged against them. You don't have any patience for this mindset. And so a lot of these people are clearing out of your life. The next card that's coming up here for you is the Justice card. How funny. I was just talking about Libra. I just got chills. I was just talking about Libra. I think that this is a very powerful message for anybody who has a Libra placement or who may be dealing with a Libra. Okay, again, I suggest that you watch the Libra reading for this week. Now, this is a major arcana card. When I have it in this way, like non-major arcana, major arcana, non-major arcana, major arcana, this gives me a feeling of a bit of a roller coaster or a big change and then things slow down and then a big change, like fast, slow energy. Excuse me. So the Justice card traditionally can do with agreements, contracts, legal situations, legal cases. Some of you are feeling like you need to be, taking somebody or holding somebody accountable in the court of law. The Justice card is about balancing your decisions, balancing the head and the heart. And so, as I said, maybe you were being way too compassionate and holding way too much space for certain people and situations. But the Justice card tells us that now you're ready to bring logic into it. And you're ready to have the right balance of compassion versus logic. And in your decision-making process, making decisions that allow you to follow your heart, but to do it in a logical way that's setting you up for success, instead of in a very rushed or foolish way where things don't work out and you end up discouraged or sad. Doing it in a balanced way, doing it in the right way. Now, you may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign. Some weeks that might resonate more for you than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Be sure to check out the love readings for January. Be sure to check out the 2022 forecasts. Again, I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and private readings can be scheduled at calendly.com/amethysthangelite. Happy New Year, Sagittarius. Happy 2022. Take care.